Well, all right, we are good to go. Hello and good evening. Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are well. I know, Cheryl, I'm telling you, when you get a new phone, it's like trying to figure out everything. It's crazy. Um, so I'm back. I am back. I have a new phone. I'm super excited. The world hasn't ended. And this phone is way better than my other phone. There's no crack screen here. And I think we are attached to our phones. I know I am. So I'm happy to have a new phone. No, it's actually the 7 Edge Plus. Yeah, 7 Edge Plus. Yeah, so I actually upgraded because I did have the 6. Yeah. Yeah, so I've upgraded. So I haven't gone to the 8. I don't have to have a brand new spanking phone. I'm cool. I would have kept my 6S for as long as till it died, to be honest with you. That's how much I don't care about phones. As long as it works and I can figure out the gadgets, I'm good to go. So thank you guys for joining. Tonight's topic will be about us keeping money in our pockets. Yes, I love gadgets too, Cheryl. Us keeping money in our pockets and ways to promote your book without having a big budget. So this is tips for small to non-existent budgets. And it's really up to you as a person how to do that. So before I get into anything, let me tell you guys who I am. My name is Shakita Lee. I am a author, speaker, entrepreneur, social media coach to solopreneurs and authors that are looking to become social media savvy, and they need strategies to help them promote themselves using social media and keeping some coins in their pocket. All right, so here we go. You guys know I got my notes. I always got to have some notes. So first one, of course, social media, right? But when you use social media, you have to figure out which platform that you're going to use, that you're going to be promoting yourself and your book on. Pinterest is great. I can't give you too much information about Pinterest, but I know there are a lot of people on Pinterest, and it's a very good platform as far as authors go. So you want to do a little research on Pinterest. But if majority of your audience, whatever type of book that you have, if majority of your audience is, say, if it's a business type of book, you want to have yourself on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is more business related. So you have a lot of companies, a lot of connections that you've made from your previous job or from people that want to connect with you. So if you have a business book, it's best to be on LinkedIn opposed to Facebook. Facebook will probably come in second, and Twitter possibly, if you use Twitter, will come in third. But if it is a business type book or any book about teaching, you want to have that on LinkedIn so that you can make the connections, and from there use your book to level up. But you really have to figure out the book that you have, where your people are, who you're marketing to, where those people most likely stay on those platforms. So if you are only on Facebook, then obviously you want to, get your book out on Facebook. But understand that if your friends or your family and your coworkers or your middle school friends, they may not support you. So you got to kind of get out of the circle and thinking that you just need to stick with Facebook. You really got to do other things. Which brings me to my next thing, which would be networking and vending at conferences. I've talked about this a lot. I network a lot. When I first started my first business, every networking event that I could be at, I was at. I probably was in 3 networking groups at one point in time, and I kept joining because I was getting myself out there, my business out there. So I wanted to be the person that you thought of when it came to taking any type of trip. So I'm always talking to you about things. And I wanted to be the person that people always thought of. So I was going to these conferences and I was making my connections, and I would see people at the next conference or networking event. So I wanted to stay fresh in people's mind, like, oh, She does that. Let me give her a call. So you want to make sure that you get out and you network, okay? If you have a book, right? You want people to know you have a book and you want them to purchase your book. But if you're not out there and you're just like in your house chilling, yeah, it's time to step out and really expand into what you want to do as far as where you want your book to go. Health activists, thank you for joining. Thank you for the hearts. Whoever's pumping out those green hearts. Is that you, Cheryl, pumping out the green hearts? Thank you so much. So yeah, and besides networking, you guys can do conferences. Hey, Levon, thank you for joining. Conferences and become a vendor. A lot of conferences, they're always looking to have vendors because they want to have, besides the speakers, they want to have people that come out and want to support the vendors. So they want to give them other things to think about besides what the speakers or speaker is going to be talking about. So they're always looking for vendors, and 9 times out of 10, every conference you go to just about will have a author there. So that's another way. And most vending events can be little to nothing, or it could be, money. But I would try to get into as many conferences as you can that, indefinitely. And I talked about this too. You want to do a conference that is going to be relative to your book. You don't necessarily want to do a kids conference if that's not what your book is about and no one can relate to it. So you want to watch what you do, watch the conferences. Thank you for inviting followers. The next one is guest blogging. Now, guest blogging, if you are a person that writes or blogs, that is a great way for you to get a whole nother audience that you didn't even think of. The person, whoever you decide to guest blog on their website, they're going to talk about your blog. They're going to put it out to their people. It's going to be read. People are going to click on your website. They're going to be interested in getting your book. So make sure whatever blog that you decide to post up there is relevant to what your book is about so that they can go to your website. And most times when you guest blog, they will link it back to your website and have your information that people can contact you from. So you always want to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row as far as guest blogging is concerned, because you don't want them to link back to a site where they can't find any information about you or where they can't purchase your book from. And I've done guest blogging once, but then I did another thing where I was just blogging on a website, which was a variety of topics. But it is something, again, it opens you up to another group of audience of people. And it's just another way to, again, keep the money in your pocket and not worry about spending. So first I said social media. Use these platforms. If you don't use any platform or you are unfamiliar about what steps you need to take, how you're going to get your book out there, you might want to go ahead and call me because I can help you with that. I can give you the strategies that you need to get your book out there and promote your book and promote yourself. Not just random buy my book, hey, did you buy my book? Did you hear about my book? No, it has to be something more to that. And then I said conferences and networking. You got to get out there and let people know, hey, who you are, what your book is about. You want to network because you just never know when someone can refer you to someone else that's looking for an author or somebody that can help them in other areas if they know what you do. And then the last is guest blogging. So honestly, with all of these that I just talked about, the only two that may cost you money is conferences and networking. A lot of people have free conferences and a lot of people have free networking. It's really up to you in getting your book out there and getting yourself out there. If you do run across a conference and you think it's a good fit for you, go ahead and reach out to the person that's putting it together and ask if they would be interested in having a author at their conference. I've done that before. And it was a yes, like, oh, I never thought about that. That's a good idea. What's your book about? And then if it fits with what they're talking about, then they'll say yes. So ways to get your book out there, to market your book on a small to non-existent budget. So again, you may pay for networking event, you may pay for conferences or to be a vendor, but it should be minimal. Do not overextend yourself. I mean, because you want to be able to go out here and go to these conferences and vend and make back your money. You don't want to spend it and not have anybody buy your book. So that's it for me, guys. 3 ways. I hope these were helpful to you. If you have a book coming out, this is something that you definitely should consider. If you are not marketing your book, if you are in the process of writing it, I would suggest that you start thinking about promoting it and marketing it now, so that you get the interest in people who want to thank you, who want to purchase your book. So if you guys have questions, definitely reach out to me. Do you guys have any questions on Periscope about anything that I just said? It is the season for conferences, and it's the season for vendor events. So if you guys have a book, get out there and start marketing it. So if there are no questions, then I am going to hop off here. Thank you guys so much for inviting followers, sharing on Twitter, and for the heart. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.